Okay, so what we're going to be doing is mapping buttons from our PlayStation controller. Well, actually, you know what? Disclaimer. It's actually going to be better if you have an Xbox controller because the button mapping in Blender is already set up for Xbox. So if you have an Xbox controller, way to go. It's going to be easier for you. For us people with PlayStation controllers, we are going to do a little bit of guessing with it. But most of it's pretty much self-explanatory. You got right and left analog sticks. Bumpers are going to be the same. The only thing that's going to be different is these buttons here. And maybe the start and option. Because instead of start and option, we have share and options. We'll see. Anyways, we'll get right back into this. So we're going to make ourselves a cube. Like so. And we're just going to raise that up. Give this cube character. And then we are going to make this plane. Bring it out. Bring this guy up. We're going to put a little, we'll just do a point lamp in here. Like so. That looks pretty good. So the main thing we're going to do here is go into game logic. I just press 3 on the numpad. And we are going to add a joystick node. So this is our main controller for our controller. So we are going to do is say when stick direction, so when we take our left stick here, and then we take that left stick and we're going to say when we move it right, threshold, I wouldn't worry about that too much. We are going to say motion, and we're going to move this on the y-axis. Now joystick index, when you have the joystick index here, 0 means that is your main controller. That is player number 1. If you go up on it, that means you just added a second controller to the joystick index. But for this guy here, our first controller, we're just going to leave it at 0. Now that it's set up, if we were to press play, and then take our left analog stick here. Actually, no. Left analog stick going right. It moves right. As you can see, I'm going left, nothing happens. Up, nothing happens. Down, nothing happens. It's only when I move that right analog stick. So that is basically how we do motion. So you can add another joystick and another motion. Like so. Now we have stick directions. Go left stick, and we're going to go left this time. And then we're going to do -Y. So, using the controller, now we can move side to side now. So, for those of us who use PlayStation, we're going to add a joystick. And we are going to add another motion. We're going to go to character motion, jump, connect these two together. And now we're going to instead go to buttons, and I believe A button is X. So if we press play, we get our controller, we press X, there we go, we have a jump now. So now we can move side to side and jump around. And that's the basics on how to make a 2D side scroller here. You could add more advanced buttons here, more advanced stuff. So now that we have the basics done, we're going to open up the project that I released earlier. This is what it looks like. The way I made the arm is I have this little empty right here, and this is basically all the joystick commands. Every time you press a button on the controller, it all goes to this little empty, and this controls the arm. This bone controls the hit animation that plays. So when we press play, when I press this bumper, you can see the arm is animated. The legs are also animated when you walk. Then all the animation stuff, that's all super simple. all just joystick commands here. I did add a sprint button, so if we are playing the game and you press the left stick, you can walk, and then if you hold down the left stick and then go, you start to sprint. Then for breaking blocks, all it is a joystick with a right shoulder trigger going to a hit object that spawns, and then that goes to the hit animation, and that just is going to this bone here. Such a derpy dude. For the infinite terrain generation, what I did, each of these are a separate block and they're all on radars. So if your player leaves the 180-degree radius and at a distance of 10, then it will delete the block. So that's why if you try to run backwards, it starts to destroy the world on you. And the reason I did that is just because generating terrain backwards was starting to get super messy. So all the terrain generation is if you have them locked down. So if I grab these, I just want the right chunk, and I want the chunk spawner right. So there's two spawners here. This is what what your player hits. So when player is collides with it, and then the player is also, it's using hit scan. So when the player is on the negative y-axis, it will, at a distance of 10, it will spawn another chunk, which is just down here. It's just spawning this guy right here. So that's how I did it. But that's going to be the end of the video. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.